Hello, I'm Sarah, otherwise known as Yarnmugs on Instagram and Ravelry. Welcome to my podcast where I chat about my knitting, crochet, sewing and books I've been reading. So I'm filming at an unusual time. It's a Sunday, it's about 3:30. The sun is just setting, so I'm trying to hide it by my hair or head. So I hope the lighting is okay. And before we start, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to any of you that watched my Vlogtober this year, throughout October. Thank you for all your lovely comments and interactions, Ko-fi donations and just general positivity. It was a lovely thing to do. It was the second time that I've done it, and I really enjoyed it, and I missed it when it came to an end. So for those that aren't aware of Vlogtober, it's snippets of your daily life, just small little videos, generally about 5 minutes long, some are a little bit longer. So it's just an insight into just daily life. It's very simple, but yeah, if you fancy going back and looking, feel free to go back. I've created a playlist, so I've got all of them in there, or you can just view it on all of my videos. You should be able to see them in order. So yeah, huge thank you for that. And then lots of people were asking if I would do Vlogmas, and I think I probably will. I did it again last year for the first time and enjoyed that. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But yeah, it's definitely an enjoyable thing to do, and it really inspired me or encouraged me to really work on those projects that I really wanted to get finished. So let's start off with finished things. So one of the things I really wanted to get finished during Vlogtober was my Habitation throw, and this is something I've been working on since Christmas because it's from a yarn advent calendar from Beehive Yarns, and the Habitation throw is by Helen Stewart, and I finished it, and it's absolutely beautiful. A lot of people on the vlogs said it looked like a stained glass window, especially when you get the light through it. This is it folded in half, but it's just absolutely beautiful. It smells lovely. It's so drapey. The yarn is beautiful. The issue I had was that I hadn't read the pattern, and anyone that's used to Helen Stewart's patterns, she does lots of things in row by row, but also percentages. And this is started off at this corner, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when you get to the centre, you decrease. So you end up with a kind of rectangle type shape. So I didn't look at the pattern, as in I just knew my halfway point would be when I got to this dark green, and then I started decreasing. And then the issue I had was in the pattern, it says to stop decreasing at, I think it says 45%, when you've got 45% of your yarn left, because I got to the end and used that green yarn, and I ran out. So you can see back here, I started on the green and I was hoping I'd be ending on the green, but I still wasn't at my point where I get to the final decrease. So luckily I had this beautiful yarn that was hand dyed by Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, and it works perfectly. So I'm really pleased. I'm not disappointed at all because I've used every little scrap of this yarn up. I'm going to stand back to show you, because I'm sure those who've watched me before have seen it, but it's just such a beautiful pattern with eyelets, but just the, yeah, just all the yarn. It's gorgeous. Since I've finished it, we've had some kind of cooler evenings, and I've had it just draped around my shoulders like a shawl. But it's just lovely, and I'm so pleased I'm finished. And I can highly recommend Beehive Yarns. The yarn is just beautiful. This is merino, and it's just lovely. I've not blocked it. I'm not going to block it. I just, you know, it's just lovely. You could just, yeah, wear it. I know, I don't think it's meant to be worn. It's a throw for furniture or sofa or chair, or a bed. But I love it. And I'm so pleased that that's finished. It was such a sense of achievement. And really pleased that I had an advent calendar last year to create such a beautiful thing. So that's the first finished thing that I got finished in Vlogtober. The second one was again another project that has been on the go since last year. And for those that watched know what this is, that this is my finished Harry Styles cardigan. And again, I'm just over the moon that this is finished. This is intentional, these strands, it's meant to look like that if I turn it round. Very colourful. This is what the pattern is. And all the colours are in the right placements, apart from there is a colour work block which I didn't enjoy doing and don't think I've done very well, so I just replaced that with blacks and reds. It's a smaller size square than the pattern suggests, because my daughter's only small, and I just didn't want it to drown her, so I made the square smaller, but that in turn then meant I had to do an extra row just to get the depth right. I also adapted the button band and just did a crochet front and back post treble, and included it. I sort of started from the bottom and then worked my way up, and then changed to red, just carrying the yarn behind it, which looks lovely, and then changed to the blue, carrying the red yarn down. And I just kept doing that, going round back and forth till I got the depth that my daughter was happy with. And the same with the waistband. I did that as a crocheted back and front post treble, which is one of my favourite stitches. The original pattern had a very large like folded collar, and she wasn't worried about having that, so it's been a labour of love, and I've not always wanted to work on it, but now it's finished. And in fact, all through October I really enjoyed working on it, and then seeing it all come together. The cuffs as well, look, and I did really long cuffs, but she's over the moon and she's worn it loads. So that's another really satisfying make, especially when the person you make it for loves it and wants to wear it all the time. So yeah, really pleased with that. Another long-term project, I cast these socks on last year. I called them my autumn socks, and they are also finished. Now the camera looks like it's not showing it as bright as it is, because it's a very lovely bright orange. It's not really showing it as orangey as it is. This is lovely yarn too. Now, here's my little, I know what it is. It's Mothy and the Squid. And it was in the colourway tortoiseshell. She did a cat colour theme. But I'm really pleased with them. I did these toe up, and then I just created this knit 6 purl 2 pattern just to give me that bit of a stretchy, and a 2x2 rib, and I'm really pleased. I think these were toe up. Can't remember now. Doesn't really matter, does it? It's in an old book. Anyway, they're done, and I'm really pleased with them, and so lovely to have them finished in autumn. Not that that really matters, because I'd wear these socks any time of year, but oh look, there's my daughter's pumpkin with a stegosaurus cut out. Yeah, lovely make. Fish Lips Kiss Heel. I do want to try the shadow wrap heel. I keep hearing people talking about that, and I've been watching Denise from Earth Tones Girl podcast, and I know that she does a really good tutorial on it. But I'm happy with Fish Lips Kiss Heel as well, but just to give it a go. So that's my third thing finished during Vlogtober. And again, those long-term projects I really wanted done. And that was because I'd recently had a bit of a cast on session where I cast on 3 new things. And so I knew they're all sort of cast on and started, but I knew I had to get these ones finished before I could focus on them. So the first one, it's in this lovely bag. Look at that. I can't remember where this was from. There's no label. I'm sure I've got a funny feeling I might have won it as well. Now, this is, again, Beehive yarns. It's from her Enchanted yarn club, because I did that last year as well. Every month I got a skein of yarn. It's in her Dolly DK weight, and it's 100% merino. And this was October's last year. So it's a lovely range of purple and orange and rusts. It's really, really beautiful. And I really wanted to make a DK weight sock, but also these are going to be a gift. So a friend of mine who I've made socks for her said that her auntie had commented on them, and so she thought, oh, that would be a lovely gift. She wants to wear them as kind of bed socks, which again made me think, oh, perfect. I'm going to use this chunky, or not chunky, but DK weight yarn. I had one DK pattern, and it's by Kay Jones, and it's the Choose Your House socks. And here they are. Oh, it feels so lovely, and it's so quick to work up. And this is a normal heel flap and gusset, but the heel is a Dutch heel or a square heel, which I have made before. Oh, isn't it lovely? Yeah, I really like that. The pattern is very lovely, really nice, gives a lovely texture. There's a ridge there, can you see? There's a bit of a ridge. That's really nice to work. But what I tried for the first time was her, what is it called? Her umbrella toe. It's like a rounded toe. It's nice and easy to work, but for me personally, that doesn't suit my foot or toe. So I definitely prefer a bit of a wedge. It was a bit too pointy for me. So I'm hoping my friend's auntie, it fits her all right, but oh, it's lovely. So, like I say, nice and chunky. I want you to be able to feel it, 'cause it's lovely. Oh yeah, it's a bit more of a good likeness there. Can you see the real flashes of orange, the dark purple, the light purple? Yeah, so I've made one, and this took a matter of days. It grows so quick. So I just need to make the other one. And I've still got a bit of yarn left. So out of that 100 gram skein, I know 115 grams it was, and I just split it in 2. And because I did it from cuff down, this is where I would have preferred to do a toe up, so I could have used all my yarn up. But I'm still happy with the length, and I'll use this in something else. I did make a mistake, and I carried on with that ridgy pattern on a couple of rows before I realised, oh, in fact I did it knitting first. I must have picked this up on another day and just was in the flow of doing the pattern. But anyway, never mind. So that's one sock done. Just need to cast the other one on. Okay. The next, in fact I haven't worked on this, but I just wanted to show you it again. This is in my lovely Elden Woodcraft bag. All very wintry and autumnal. Now I've cast on, I might have done a little bit more, maybe not much. This is, just remind me what it's called. Spring is in the Air Cowl by Lyndsey Tranter. Now I've made one of these before, but this one's going to be for my dad. I've just made it a little bit bigger. So far I've done the rib, which will be the top or the bottom rib, but I've just done it a bit longer than suggested. I think they suggest 6 rounds, but I wanted, how many did I do? I did 10. And I've now got the markers in place, ready for the pattern. And the pattern creates, they look a little bit like hearts. It's really like a bit of a lace repeat. But isn't this yarn beautiful? This is from Helen from the wall kitchen. I've had this for years, but I love those flashes of neon. I think my dad will love that. But yeah, I just needed it to be a bit bigger for him, because my one I've got is quite sort of not tight for me, but it's close fitting, and I just needed it just a little bit bigger. And as long as you're doing a combination of 17s, is that right? Am I saying that right? Then you know that you're going to fit the pattern in. So yeah, that's on the go. Sometimes that's the nice thing, isn't it? Once you've done the rib, then you can just get on and enjoy the pattern. Oh, I've just found my little tag from those autumn socks. It's very faded because this is really old. That's Mothy and the Squid and her tortoiseshell, but she's not doing it at the moment or anymore. And that was a 75% merino, 25% nylon for her sock weight yarn. Going back to my Harry Styles, sorry, I've got it all here and I completely ignored it. That Harry Styles cardigan was made out of special DK Stylecraft, and then I also had one of these, James C. Brett, in a chunky, and all the weights were, it's about an aran weight, I think I did. I had one colour that didn't have it in aran and I had to double up with the DK. So it's a nice, yeah, thick, chunky make. So yeah, I just need to get on and start with the pattern with this, but I'm really pleased that I've made a start on the rib. Now, a lot of these cast-ons I created or cast on because next weekend I'm going to the Lay Family Yarn knitting retreat, and I wanted to have some projects, like new projects, midway through, so they were going to be really easy to work on. So that's why I've got my sock, this cowl, which will just be nice knitting with a little bit of a pattern. But I also cast on the Felix cardigan, and it's in this lovely big sack that I made, which I'm really pleased with and now using. Now the Felix cardigan is by Amy Christoffers, and it's a lovely pattern. Actually, it's reminded me a little bit of this. I'll just tell you what I'm wearing. This is the Trescao sweater by I can't remember, but I'll link it down below. I made this ages ago. It's very oversized, but it has worn so well. You know, I wear it when I do gardening. It's obviously lovely and warm, so I do wear it frequently, but it's not a very, I've made it far too big, but I really love it. And I've put lots of leftover yarns in all the stripes. But the main brown colourway was a JC Rennie, a lamb's wool, and I held it double because it was very fine. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. This feels to me like my comfort blanket. And I put this on and it's so soft, there's no itch. Like I say, I always wear something underneath it because it's quite big. But yeah, where it's got these lovely raglan lace bits, the Felix cardigan has that, but in a bit more of a pattern. Now, my only worry is that I don't think I'm going to have enough yarn, but I just wanted to be using yarn that was in my stash, and I happen to have 2 skeins of this lovely travel knitter yarn, and it's in quite like a tealy blue with these flashes of turquoise. It's a DK weight, 100% extra fine merino, and it's called Midnight Fireflies, and it's knitting up so lovely. Look at those flashes of turquoise. So the pattern on the raglan shaping, or you can just sort of see it there, is these kind of V's that are coming out. I don't know if I'm showing it very well with the light. Yeah, can you see it there? So I've got another, it's an 8-round repeat for these raglan shaping, and I've got one more repeat to do to get to the point where I'm then plain knitting until I separate for the sleeves. But it's lovely, isn't it? So my thought was, obviously I've got still got this amount left, and I've only got a second skein, And then I thought I'd pair it with this. And again, this is a Beehive Yarns Enchanted Yarn Club I got last year. This is from the June set. But I just thought that that turquoise really matches with the turquoise. And whether the brown, I don't really know if it's going to go or not. But I thought once I get to the point of that this part is finished, I'm then going to do stripes of that and this contrasty colour. This is probably going to be quite a short cardigan, and obviously I've got to get sleeves out of this, so 3 skeins. I don't know whether it's going to be enough, but I'll just see how it goes. But it's a lovely knit, a lovely make. You obviously have to add on the rib of the neck because there's no neck. Well, I do need to check that in the pattern actually. Obviously you'd add a button band, but I'm assuming that you're going to add a neck as well. Not sure. Might have a look at a picture actually. Oh no, there is a rib. Yes, I'm just going to show you it. So you can see, yeah, there is a rib matching with the neckband. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with the pattern. It's lovely and loving the yarn. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, I'm hoping to work on all 3 of those things while I'm at this knitting retreat, which I'm really excited about. What do you think? Do you think it goes? The blue bit goes, but does the brown bit look strange? I don't know. I don't really mind. I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'll just make it to use all the yarn up. So it might be short, it might have shorter sleeves. But yeah, loving it. And I'm really loving the bag that it's in. And it's just literally a sack. It's not a flat bottomed one. And I've got a dress in this, and I made something for my sister in that. So yeah, loving the handmade bags. During Vlogtober, I treated myself to a little thing. Sorry, I was just a bit distracted. What did I say my Enchanted October yarn club was from? Maybe that was... Oh, it was the socks, wasn't it? Let me put them back in there. Yeah, so I treated myself to a lovely pouch, again by Elden Woodcraft. I saw this on her Instagram feed and just thought, oh, how beautiful is that fabric. I love this walking person, the deer, the trees, just that lovely scene. Isn't it sweet? A little squirrel or something there. So yeah, just a little pouch, which I will use. But I just was so drawn. Oh, look at that, like waterfall. Yeah, really drawn to the fabric. Really whimsical and yeah, sweet. Yeah, so check out Emma. She's got a lovely podcast, but her makes are just so perfect, so beautiful. The fabric is lovely. It's really sturdy and so well made. Gorgeous. So I just wanted to share with you that little treat that I treated myself to. Now the other thing I wanted to show you, again, if any of you watched Vlogtober, me and my sister went to the knitting and stitching show at Alexandra Palace in London, and we both bought the same fabric and decided that we would have a sewing day, which we did, and I filmed a little bit of that. So what we decided to make, we've both made the Indigo Dress. We've done it without this frill, and this is obviously more like a top rather than the dress version, but this is the version I made and my sister did. Mine is much longer, hers was a bit shorter, a bit like this one here, but I just again wanted to use all the fabric up. So here is the finished dress, and it's in a beautiful gingham linen blend. You can see it's quite see-through, so it's probably more of a summer material, but I am wearing this and I'll wear it with tights and a cardigan. I talk a bit more about me making this on my Vlogtober, because I've got a few indigos, but I wanted to make a bigger version. And also I've done longer sleeves with an elasticated waist. It has got pockets, and I've made it very long, not down to the floor. I don't know if but like you say, you can see it is quite see-through. You can even see me through that. Oh, it's just lovely. So I'm really, really pleased with it. Like I say, I made it in a bigger size. I didn't put any darts in it. I wanted a loose fit. And the only issue I've got is it is a little bit big here on my shoulder. I'd rather, that be, so it hangs off a little bit. It's not a problem, and I really don't really care. But if I was being picky about it, and another thing I'm really annoyed about, when I was putting my bias binding on, which I made myself, when I was sewing around, I caught a little bit, and then when I've unpicked it, that's not lying very nice. And typically it'd be right at the front. Why couldn't it be up here? But again, once it's on, I also ran out of thread, so I had some matching thread and have had to use green thread, which still matches, with that pattern, but would it have been as visible if it had been in that greener colour? But I'm really pleased with it. It's very lightweight. Again, I'm going to wear it with a lovely green cardigan, my favourite cardigan that I wear lots on this podcast, the Sunday Fun Day cardigan, a green. I wear it with black tights and my black shoes, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it. And it's probably the longest dress, so I've started making longer ones, but this is much longer. It's a real Little House on the Prairie vibe, which is right up my street. I love anything like that. Yeah, so that's all my makes. Plenty in October. Habitation, Harry Styles, socks, dress, and then 3 things on the go. There's nothing else on the go at the moment, apart from a scruffy or scrappy crochet blanket, but that will always be on the go while I'm adding to it. So yeah, these 3 things, that should keep me going until the end of the year. So how long is that? 27 minutes. Yeah, so I've had a lovely October full of making things as well as filming Vlogtober. So yeah, feel free, go back and see if you like those little snippets of daily life. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was the books that I've been reading. I've said before that I'm in a work book club, and we chose the Richard and Judy books from W.H. Smith's, so I bought all of them. We're coming to the end of them now. I haven't enjoyed all of them. One of the ones that everyone has been, oh no, I don't want to read that, is this one. And it's called The School for Good Mothers. I'm hoping I'm holding that up the right way. By Jessamine Chan. Now, in our work, we work with vulnerable families who sometimes have children removed, and I think for a lot of us, we were thinking, oh, this is going to be a bit too close to work and a bit depressing. So we decided not to read it, and we picked another book. But I was really curious because I hate the thought of, what if it's really good? So I read it and I really, really enjoyed it. It is a dystopian novel, so it has got a feeling of The Handmaid's Tale to it, but also a feeling of, oh gosh, this could happen maybe. The beginning, I remember thinking at the time, that's not what happens in real life, and it's only then when the mother goes to the school that you realise, oh, it's a dystopian novel, and that fitted well with, I could cope with that when I was reading it, thinking this isn't real, it's but it is good, and it made me think about my work. It made me think about my own parenting, and how, in this particular story, the mothers who have to go to this school have to be monitored and observed and trained, and just all the different types of things that go on in this school. It's unusual but really interesting, thought-provoking. and not too horrible. You know, it's not again, like with The Handmaid's Tale, some of that is like, oh, it's really shocking and horrible. It didn't feel like that with this book. So it's unusual, it's a bit different, but I really, really enjoyed the story. So out of the book club, I'm the only one that's read that so far, but I've really, really enjoyed it. So the book we chose instead of that was this one, Harlan Coben, The Match, which is fine. Would I recommend it? It's all right. It's easy. It's an easy read. I've read Harlan Coben before, like years and years ago, and I remember his books. You could imagine them being a film, and I think a lot of his things have been turned into either a film or a Netflix series. I think it says it there actually, but this just felt a bit simple. Yeah, it's all right, and apparently it's a sequel. Yeah, that's all I want to say really. It was very easy to read. I whizzed through it, and I think I read the last 100 pages in bed and just got to the end and found out, what happened. And I wanted to know, but it was just, a simple book. So I've started another book which I'm loving, but I'll share that with you once I've finished it. So I think that's probably it. The sun is nearly there a little bit, just going behind the trees. It's been a lovely autumnal day, very sunny, and all the leaves are finally changing. We've had really strange weather, and especially for October, it still was very green, but we've now recently had some colder days, some very wet days. There's been some terrible weather warnings throughout the UK as well, so it's all very strange and worrying because of global warming and the rising temperatures. But at the minute, this is nice. It's nice having days like this where it's sunny but getting a bit chilly. We even had one day of frost where I had to scrape the car in October, but none since. So I think that's probably it. So I'm really looking forward to this knitting retreat at Lay Family Yarn next weekend. I'm driving up there. It's about a 3-hour drive. I'm staying in an Airbnb with some other knitting friends, and it's a Friday to Sunday, and I'm looking forward to meeting other online friends who I chat with, so it will be really, really nice, and hopefully just a time to relax and enjoy your knitting and chatting, but also we're going to be dyeing some yarn, which I've never done before, got no experience with, but really interested in seeing how that works and dyeing up my own yarn. So we'll have to see, and I'll share that with you next time. So I think that's about it. So I hope you're all okay, and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all later on in November. See you soon. Bye.